Hey everyone, Mistik here. Welcome back to the How to Trade series. In this series, I start from the very beginning on how to become a successful trader in Graal era and become rich. This is the 6th episode, so if you haven't checked out any of the previous episodes, I highly recommend that you do, as each video builds on the previous. Before the video starts, I'd like to mention really quickly that when the channel hits 750 subscribers, I will be doing another giveaway. This giveaway will be the biggest the channel has seen so far, so if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button to get us there. Anyways, let's get started with the video. Today's episode is going to focus on how items drop. This is important to your growth as a trader because understanding what prices do in certain situations can lead to huge profits. There are many reasons an item can drop. This guide will cover most of the ways that an item you want or an item you own could decrease in value. We'll be covering a couple different scenarios. The first is a jump in supply. There are several reasons why an item could become more common within tables. The most important thing to remember is that an item is only going to drop if many people are physically selling it. If people just own the item in general, that won't affect the price too much. If many people at tables are selling their item for the same price, the item will go down. That's a 100% guarantee. This is because of two things. The first is that the item seems more common and people won't want it as much. And two, there's a lower chance of your offer being taken. So to combat the competition, you may drop the price you're wanting. In return, other owners may do the same thing, causing a chain reaction. Let's say, for example, 3 owners all want to sell their pencil trash pick for $11K. This is a fair price, however, one of them may decide to only ask for $10K. In most cases, the rest will follow and only sell theirs for $10K as well. Now, one of the sellers may choose to sell for $9K. This can go on for a while and slowly diminish the price of an item. So, if you're thinking of purchasing an item in this circumstance, try to be extra cautious as to where the price could go. The next way is the most detrimental when it comes to the value of a super. It is when a hoard is released. This is such a devastating thing to happen to an item you own. I will be outlining in more depth what actually happens when a hoard is released and what it's sold for and what it does to the price in a future video. However, I will cover the basics here. Each single item sold from the hoard will drop the price almost instantly, resulting in a price that could potentially be cut in half. For example, recently the Bunny Hammer hoard was released. It was valued at around $20K when it first came out, however afterwards it had dropped almost to $13K. That is like a 75% drop in price. If Bunny Hammers would have continued to be sold afterwards and not just been hoarded up again, it could have dropped to even as low as $7 to $8K. We can see from this that it's honestly the worst thing that can happen to an item, so when you're purchasing them, stay clear of anything that is a high risk of this happening. Highly auctioned items are also at a risk of large price drops. Currently, some of the highly auctioned items include Rage Blade and Wizard Staff, however this is not always a huge negative factor for these items. Rage Blade has always had a very consistent or even rising price ever since it started being auctioned. Even though it's auctioned quite frequently, it's never suffered any price drops. This proves that auctions don't have the largest impact on an item, but it still can have a little bit of influence. This is because auctions aren't actually hosted that often, and generally you're only going to see 1 or 2 of a specific item each time. This is still something to consider, however, when purchasing items near a scheduled auction's time. You wouldn't want your hard-earned shells going into an item and then them being auctioned again and dropping the price. Last but not least, there's overpricing. This relates to another thing I'll be covering in a future video, most likely the next in the series, which is how items rise. When an item rises for any particular reason other than a rarity change or a physical change to the item, it is bound to go back down to the original price. For instance, let's take that pencil trash pick once again. If people really wanted it and it rose to $15K, but then people started to lose interest again, it would drop back down to that $11K mark. This is extremely hard to spot and can be awful to traders who jump in on the item when it's at its max. This actually has a huge correlation to how stocks work in the real world. A great example of this is the Black Umbrella at the moment. For all we know, it could start dropping the moment people begin to realize it's not what it's all chalked up to be and it's just too high right now. I guess time will tell. But for now, make sure you're always looking at the price of an item and where it's been in the past to be able to accurately understand where you want to be buying the item. That's it for the reasons why items may drop. There are a few other, however, that are very niche and don't usually occur often at all. Please remember that everything I've said in this video is completely situational and might not affect every item. The trade market is forever changing and could do anything at any moment. But that's going to be it for this episode of the How to Trade series. If you enjoyed this episode and haven't seen the others, please go back and check the rest. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please do so as I post a ton of content just like this. If you have any questions about anything you saw in this video or about Graal in general, feel free to either comment on the video or send me a message in the game. Also, if you guys enjoyed the video, could you please just hit that like button for me? It does a ton and helps me way more than you guys think. Anyways, that's it for me today, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.